Hi, so welcome to the October Executive Advisory Board presentation. So this time around, we've decided to do it slightly different. Instead of having a big presentation at a board meeting where that's most of what we did, we leave a little time for Q&A. We decided to go ahead and record our presentation ahead of time. We'll send this out to everybody so that people can enjoy it, digest it, and then we'll be sending out invites to do a more in-person kind of get together so that then people can reflect and we can talk about that. And then that gives us more time to talk about more advisory board type of stuff versus just where we are now and what we've been doing. And I know everybody that's on the advisory board loves the type of stuff we're doing. So getting to see it and digest it on your own time and pace, I think is really a good idea. We'll see how it goes. We got all the normal folks here that are going to present to you, and they'll introduce themselves as we go through the different slides. But we're basically going to talk about all the different things that we've done in both the Computer Game Design Program, CGD, the Virginia Serious Games Institute as a whole, which includes our residence companies and our research. Then we'll also go over the Mason Game and Technology Academy, and that'll be it for today. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn over the presentation to Sang Nam, who is the co-director of the VSGI and actually the director of the Computer Game Design Program. Sang, if you want to go ahead and start, and then I'll chime in as needed, but then just let me know when you're ready if I'm not automatically hitting the slides for you on time.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the introduction and welcome everyone. My name is Sang Nam, Director of Computer Game Design Program. And Computer Game Design Program had amazing year last year. And May 25, we graduated 66 students with a Bachelor's of Fine Arts in Computer Game Design. And later you are going to have this slide, so you can actually go to the link to view our commencement video. Basically, this commencement video includes interviews from our graduates and what they learned and then what they are going to do in near future. And for the fall 25 enrollment, and currently we have 442 BFA major students with about 35 minor students. Next slide, please. And we added new adjunct faculty this year, and Lucas Hardy, Sally McMahon, and Paul Hineker. Lucas Hardy is a veteran game developer and game artist, and who specializes 3D modeling and game arts. And he will add more expertise in game arts area while teaching some the lower level courses to share his insights on game design and development. And Sally McMahon, our own graduate, and also she obtained her master's degree from SAIC. Uh, and she specialized also game arts and 3D modeling. And Paul Hineker, who's a great audio and sound engineer, and then he teaches sound design and game music composition course. And next slide. And we had the Senior Expo the last May. And again, Senior Expo is where we celebrate achievements from our graduate, like a senior student. And for 2 semesters, they try to create a AAA quality game. And then this is a showcase where they display and demo their games. And we have two great the senior capstone professors, Professor James Casey and Professor Eric Piccioni. And under their guidance, our students present their capstone games. And these games are also available online. And if you go to the link provided, you can actually download and play those games. And next. And on May 6th, we joined Oscar Celebration. Oscar is short for Office of Student Creative Activities and Research. And each year, Oscar has this great showcase to demonstrate undergraduate research at George Mason University. Uh, from 2 years ago, we joined Oscar Celebration, and we call it Oscar Celebration plus Game Collaboration. And we showcased the great research and undergraduate research that we produced at both computer game design program and VSGI. And we typically have a booth to showcase our work. And using the link provided, you can also watch the video demo that we displayed at this event. And next slide. And uh, a couple of weeks ago, September 5th, we had a new student welcome event. And many faculty and new students joined. And we basically introduced ourselves, and we had the Q&A sessions with students and try to introduce what we do while trying to kind of make them feel home. Because each year we have about like 75, 80 new students, including both incoming freshmen and transfer students. And each year we try to kind of welcome them so that they can make a fast adjustment. And next slide, please. And Arch by George, September 27, we participated in Arch by George. Arch by George is a donor celebration or donor appreciation program by College of Visual and Performing Arts. And each year we raised a scholarship fund. I believe, yeah, we usually raise about like I think $250,000, and each year our program benefits from this Arch by George event. We typically receive about like $10,000 for our scholarship fund. And this year we presented Control Plus Reality, reimagining game design in extended reality. It was very successful. And next slides. And over the summer, we had internship. We participated in Aspiring Scientist Summer Internship Program, which is ASIP for short. This program actually is hosted and organized by College of Science. But for the last few years, Professor James Casey and myself, we participated and mentors high school students who are interested in game design and development, or sometimes serious game or emerging technologies related to game design and development. Last summer, Professor Casey and myself, we mentored 9 high school students from everywhere. Actually, this last summer, we had students from California and Georgia and New York and Virginia. So we had 2 teams, and each team produced a serious game prototype. And first group worked on gamifying environmental education through interactive simulation and game design. They created this serious game called Carbon City, and it was very interesting and like pretty high quality. Even though they worked on this project for like 8 weeks, they produced a pretty high quality game. And second group, they created the Factory, designing a serious game to foster epistemic vigilance and digital misinformation literacy. They also created this game prototype, Factory, that actually like simulate how people usually get or exposed to this misinformation and how they can fight back. Okay. And next slide, please. And there's some collaboration news. Over the summer, we signed MOU, like GMU, George Mason University signed a friendly MOU with UTB, University Technology Brunei. So I represented the GMU to sign this MOU, and then it was witnessed by the U.S. Ambassador McClelland and Mr. Haji Haru McDowd bin Haji Abdul Karim, who is Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Transport and Info Communications in Brunei. Next slide. And faculty highlights. And Professor Jacob Enfield received his second 4BA grant for developing nursing escape room game with UBA and working with UBA and BCU. And he will talk about this later for research part VSGI. And Professor Boris Willis was featured on GMU News. The title was Boris Willis is helping students rethink what a career in game design can be. And you can check out the article using the provided link. And myself received like three small grants in Korea from Seoul Metropolitan City Office of Education for serious game education in Seoul area. And next slide. And that was it. Okay, so James.
Yep. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Virginia Serious Games Institute, and we'll have a few of us talking here. But we're going to start off with the Korea Serious Games Institute, which we founded, almost a year or more ago. It's been around for a little bit. We had a great opening ceremony. We had some good success so far. So we're going to talk a little bit about what we've been doing, and then we'll shift into the Virginia Serious Games Institute. So starting with, and Sang, you can feel free to chime in on any of these as well, because I know you
Sure, yeah.
were very instrumental in there. Do you want to start with this one?
Oh, I mean, well, you can actually,
Okay.
yeah, do
That's
it,
fine.
yeah.
So one of the things that the Korea Serious Games Institute has been doing a lot of, especially given their location and the skills that we have there, we've been doing capacity building programs with various different countries. In this case, it was Uzbekistan. We taught students there all aspects of game design over 14 weeks, and it was a very successful program. And Sang got to go over there and visit and meet everybody, which was awesome. Not only have we done it in Uzbekistan, but we've done it other places as well. Sang, you want to talk about this one?
So there is this U.S. Ambassador Fund for Cultural Preservation program. So what they do is they fund cultural preservation project in various places in this world. So it's like basically how it works is you can propose a project in certain countries, and then U.S. Embassy collect those proposal, and then like the promising project. So at the beginning of this year, we proposed this project like Eternal Registration, bridging heritage and innovation in the digital realm. So basically, we propose to create digital twin of Registan Square in Uzbekistan. So we talked to many people in U.S. Embassy in Tashkent, and yeah, so we actually advanced our proposal, advanced the finalist, and then what happened was actually we actually heard from Department of State they're not going to fund any AFCP project this year because of their kind of change of direction. So we were finalists, but yes, we sort of kind of like yeah, we understood and situation, so we kind of gave up on this thing. But recently, we just got an email from U.S. Embassy Uzbekistan, like Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Actually, they actually told us that, yeah, like exact word, they said, "What a wonderful and unexpected development that your project was among a handful of those selected for AFCP funding, pending
Wow.
final approval by senior officials in DC." So,
Excellent.
I mean, we're very excited, but at the same time, Right now, the time is kind of interesting because sometimes this kind of funding opportunity gets canceled without
Sure.
any notice. So I am very, I'm still kind of like waiting, but so that's why I put as we are selected as finalist because we're still waiting for the approval. But bottom line is we're very excited to report that this project actually will be very first digital cultural preservation project among like a AFCP project. So very excited, and hopefully for the next in the next board meeting, we can report that we like received the funding.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we also did a capacity building type of exercise in Brunei, the Virtual Brunei Initiative. It was sponsored by the U.S. Embassy there. It was a great success. We had 30 different game developers there that we taught about game design and development and virtual reality production. They made an excellent virtual reality kind of cultural heritage cooking game in VR, which was amazing. And then myself, Professor Nam, and Tim Codden from the VSGI actually attended the closing ceremony where they graduated, and we also hosted an AI summit along with our partners from Company E to show off the Super Museum at the University Technology Brunei, which is one of the ones we did the MOU with there. And we had about 150 attendees that came in and learned and discussed AI with us, all types of different views of AI, both in use in university and commercial, cutting edge type of stuff as well. So from beginner to advanced, we kind of covered a little bit of everything in that. It was a very successful initiative through the KSGI. So we've been also working with local programs in Korea to host game seminars for the campus with local youth, and some of our faculty there are providing those seminars, getting people interested in game design and development even before they're coming to university. And then we also have a plan for a serious game conference in November that is being put together now with local industry and the university. And hopefully by the time we talk next, you'll get to hear all about how successful it was and see some pictures from that. I think that's it. Yep, that was it for the KSGI. So I'm going to go through pretty quickly some of the things that have been going on with some of our resident companies. Then we'll switch to the research and continue from there. So Scripted LLC has been a very successful resident company. They had their pre-seed funding round, looking and obtaining additional funding as we go. They've been doing a lot of different stuff. One of the more recent ones that they've been doing, I'll let it play real quick.
It's Delula. Click some buttons, twist some knobs, and bam! Viral content. We got magic. We've got Yetis, dancing bananas, old guys eating lava, cannibalistic carrots, that trendy ASMR, dogs in the freaking Olympics, even really creepy girlfriend types. Wait, why does she have pictures of me? Delula, one-click viral hits. Sign up for early access now. It's Delula.
Anyway, so what they're doing is they're trying to make the idea of generative AI accessible to more people, rather than having to type something into ChatGPT or Grok or any of these different content generators that are out there now, Nano, Banana, and all these crazy things, right? This is a tool that would actually allow you to just go, you know what, I pick and choose and twist some dials, and then all of a sudden it creates content for you that you can post on your social media, try to make some money from content, that type of stuff. So again, it's trying to make it easier for people to create memes and viral videos and kind of tap into the content creator economy, but using the cutting edge of generative AI. So again, some very interesting stuff going on there. They're also trying to partner with folks within our university for some grant proposals and ways to expand the AI knowledge.
It's Delula.
Yes, we got that. All right. So we've also been talking to some companies that don't necessarily need space within the SGI, because they've been actually working already on projects, but they wanted to partner with us for grant opportunities, our game design knowledge, that type of stuff. So they're kind of virtual residencies. The first one I want to talk about is called Running Reality. You can see a screenshot of their website on the left there. And if you just go to runningreality.org, you can try it out yourself. Apparently I mistyped it when I put it in there, so it's runningreality.org. But it's basically the gentleman who did it worked for NASA for years. While he was there, he made that website, runningreality.org, and it's essentially kind of like Google Maps meets education of history. So you can go back to any time in history, and the Google Maps that is on the screen will adjust to show you what it looked like in that time. What were the borders? What was happening? Were there wars? Things that were going on? It will give you relevant events, and you can kind of scrub a timeline to go anywhere in history and see what was going on within a particular area. Very cool project, but what he wants to do now that he has retired from NASA is actually go a step further and create augmented reality experiences for battlefields and parks and places that you might find on said map. So that if you went out to Manassas battlefield, for example, you could take your phone and then relive the battle or see the elements of the battlefield in ways that you don't get from our current state of the battlefield. So we're working with them on finding grants and being a partner in those to help create these cool experiences. Another company that we've been working with is called SwayDay. They're local. They've been trying to work on mobile-based education, but primarily for kids with ADHD and other neurodiversity. Because again, educating them can be sometimes a little more difficult based on needs. So they've been exploring the use of motion controls and other types of interfaces to make learning more fun and to fit within the learning styles of the folks that they're trying to address. So here's a quick little video from their website.
Check out this new game. You can learn your times tables and have fun at the same time. You play with your hands. 6 times 9, that's 54. Awesome. What's up next? 9 times 9? Oh, this is a tricky one. Maybe 86? Oh, incorrect. 81. 3 times 5? That's 15. I can move my hands over to 1 and 5, and there we go. Correct. I feel like I'm getting better at my times tables already. Quick dance break. You guys have to check this game out.
So again, doing something different than just the point and click or a controller or something like that. It's using actual hands, using movement, trying to get people interested in learning through new and innovative ways. So they've approached us to get some of our game design expertise from our students and alumni to help them as they go further in this, because they've got a little more expertise on the learning side and then the specific audience they're looking for, and they want to leverage kind of what we bring to the table too.
Check out this new game.
All right. Historical Movement Archive. They've been here for a little while. They've been working on their digital playhouse. They're getting it to be available for not only, say, the Oculus Quest or Meta Quest or whatever you want to call it these days, but being able to run it on your PC or mobile devices, basically allowing anyone to join a multi-user virtual environment that resembles an ancient playhouse. And the idea behind it is that, researchers, academics, students, everyday folks can get together within this space, and not only can they talk like you can in Zoom or Teams like we're doing here, but they can actually incorporate motion capture software and hardware so that you can see people and how they're moving, and take these experts in motion history and fighting and dancing and all these different types, and they can actually work together and research together and even show off for entertainment some of the things that they've been doing within this virtual space. And they've been working with folks both here at GMU and external universities as far as trying to get additional grants and additional funding opportunities, but feel free to check it out on their website. And as we get closer to them launching some of these seminars and classes within the space, we will put out invitations for you. Improve on Health has been working with our partners. So they released their gamified automated hardware for medication for folks with intellectual disabilities. And so they've been doing that and been very successful from what I've heard from them. They've been working on, I don't know if it's released yet, but it's very close, a mental health and wellness app for Prince William County through some grants, and has been continuing to work successfully. Likewise, Great Victory Legends has been working on VR games and VR grants within their space, and I know they've been working to get additional funding grants, and we'll talk more about those in future meetings. With that in mind, some of those companies are getting ready to graduate and or have been using the spaces more remotely, so we want to kind of fill up the space here. If you guys have friends or partners or acquaintances or yourself, that want to work in serious games, you have a business idea, maybe even an existing company that may need some assistance, send them our way. Have them reach out, talk to me. My email's here. Obviously, you can come back and watch this later. It's also probably at the end of the slides, if I remember correctly. But if you got ideas or folks that are looking to do stuff like this, we're always willing to talk and always willing to help. Even if it's a virtual residency like some of the companies we mentioned, or a physical residency like some of the ones we have here now, we're looking for folks, so send them our way. So now we're going to switch over to research. Myself and Jacob are probably going to hit a few of these. I'm going to let Jacob talk first about the 4VA proposal that Sang mentioned that they were awarded recently. Jacob?
Yes, so this was a project that was taken up by Yanika, Dr. K. And yeah, you can see her name there as the PI. She attended a conference last year and saw me present, and we got a good collaboration going. And she is working with some other faculty from VCU and GMU and UVA. And basically, they're taking some of their course and putting it into a gamified format to make it more engaging. And so we hired a couple of our GMU graduates and current students to Alex, you see them there listed, to create the game this semester and test out a little bit. And then next semester, they're going to implement it and do their data collection and complete the study. So it's a 4VA grants, typically around 20 grand. And that is kind of a startup. So if this project goes well, we could potentially apply for larger grants in the future.
So, okay. Next one, I'll go over this one real quick because I know I've been in meetings more recently with them. But so we've been working with the engineering department and the AF Cent, which is, I don't remember exactly what the acronym stands for, but it's basically a center for their kind of outreach programs like this, where they're putting together programs. They've been working on how to create algorithms for swarms of drones or other robotics. So figuring out ways to program these drones to respond in certain areas. We've been helping them with creating a scenario where there are a number of different drones and it can be varied and set up by the user. You can give them different commands so that as they're just patrolling or if they see someone, they will take different actions, and how they will respond in those situations, not only as an individual drone, but as a swarm, are essentially handled by these algorithms that are set up as part of the game. And so they set up a nice gamified way to do this. So you create a defense with these different drones. You create the algorithm for what they do. And then you test it against essentially AI or human players that attempt to bypass your drones. The initial scenario was a drug boat trying to get to the coast, and these were drones patrolling the ocean in front of the shoreline to prevent you from getting there, right? To find them. But that's basically the idea, and they're gamifying because they want to really encourage people to try different strategies for the drones, to try different combinations of movement algorithms and defense patterns and numbers to try to figure out how do we determine the best optimal algorithms for this type of drone robotics, and how do we build something that will naturally evolve and be both efficient and effective. So we've also been working continuously with Inova, augmented reality trauma simulation, which you've probably seen at previous presentations. We've been adding additional AI and additional functionality with that as we go. Yes, we've seen that. Since I'm already talking, I'll just continue, Jacob, for a second. The forensic virtual crime scene, which you may have seen in past presentations, is coming back on the research block. We have some funding there to continue their next step beyond the initial setup where we saw and recreated one of their rooms from their crime scene house. Is they want to take additional 3D captures of spaces from both that house and other places, and they want to create more of a viewing experience versus an interactive crime scene for now. Then once we do that, then we'll potentially look at how do we combine those kind of functionality for future projects. But right now we're looking to how do we expand the functionality for what we've already done. Do you want to tell us where the current progress is on the genealogy stuff?
Sure, it's stalled right now. Dr. T, or Dr. R, I mean, Dr. Rafaju. This is still her area of work, and she's still doing stuff. We're working on a paper that for a conference, but as far as the project goes, until more funding comes in, the development of the project is a little bit stalled.
Okay. And then this was yours as well.
Yeah, so this is my own personal stuff that I'm going to be seeking some funding for, but it's stuff that I've been interested in for a long time. Past summer, I went ahead and finally created an LLC, got the website redesign done so it looks a little more professional there on the bottom right. And then might be doing this Kickstarter, probably going to be doing this Kickstarter campaign as soon as everything's ready to go. So instead of seeking just grant research money, I'm going to try something new. I've never done a Kickstarter before, and I'm going to try to see if that works out. But I'm excited about it. The suite has 6 math games in it. It's a suite for learning mathematics, and the long-term vision is that it would be a full curriculum, game-based curriculum that you could use with mathematics.
That's awesome. Well, hopefully if you get the Kickstarter going, we can let people know too so they can help out. And last but not least here, we're going to talk a little bit about the Mason Game and Technology Academy, which has had some awesome success. So Josh, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
All right. Tell us how MGTA has gone.
All right. Yeah, so we concluded our summer session on August 1st. We had a pretty good summer this year. We hosted around 157 students from our partner company Envision, and we hosted about 87 of our own students who are here locally in Manassas and or Fairfax for a total of about 244 students. We ran a couple new classes this year. It's the first time we've ran a class using the Godot game engine, which was taught by Jacob. We also did a world building with Unity class that was taught by Pashoni, and we also introduced some new Envision classes, Blender and 2D digital art, with both of them being pretty good successes.
Excellent.
As for the fall update, not a whole lot on this front right now. I've opened some classes for fall. Our fall season's usually pretty quiet. I assume 1 or 2 of them will probably end up running. We're going to be running a Python programming class and a Unity class, and also a Blender class, both in Fairfax and Manassas. That's at least the plan as of right now.
Okay, excellent. And when do they start?
Near the end of October.
Okay, so by the time they see this video, there may still be time if they have kids that want to join in to get in there. Worst case, it can always go for spring. So
exactly.
Excellent. All right. So that's really it. I'll leave this up here for a few seconds for video sake, so that if you at the end you want to see, hey, here's my email. Obviously, if there's stuff in here that any of the folks here talked about that you want to hit on, or you want to work with Stephanie for some grants and things like that, absolutely reach out. And the worst case, start with me. and I will get you to the right people, and we will go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing for now. So we get to say hi. We can put back on our cameras for a quick second. And everybody, just thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. Hopefully, everything that we went over today was super interesting. We've got some amazing stuff going on in our computer game design program. Our students are excellent. You'll see some great games. If you look at the Senior Expo stuff, we've got some amazing stuff. Hopefully, you've heard about Arts by George and will attend by the time you get this. Hopefully, have already seen Arts by George or help participate there. There's so much good stuff going on there within our resident companies, within our research. But as our partners through the advisory board, we are always looking for your expertise on how do we expand. So if you've got ideas, both on research side, both on potential companies or people that want to kind of go into serious games, or even just people that want classes, right? So much is happening, and we are very glad that you are part of our advisory board and helping out and interested. And we look forward to talking to you in person being either virtually or real, depending on what we decide. But we want to hear from you, and we want to figure out how can we serve you better and how can you help us. With that, does anybody else have anything else before we go? No? Well, thank you, Jacob, Sang, Stephanie, Joshua, for all being here today.